Hi, today I'm reviewing the Too Faced Born This Way Super Coverage Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer.
And really quick, I just want to say, purchase all these products with my own money so you know you can trust my opinion is what I honestly believe.
So this is a new product from Too Faced, kind of a play. I've got their other concealer, which is similar to this. And they just came out with this, which comes in a larger bottle and also features a doe foot applicator as well. And they've got a nice variety of shades with this, and it's kind of a rival to the Shape Tape. So I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts based on the Sarah score scale. And my first criteria is packaging, and they've done a nice job packaging this. I like the doe foot applicator, but in a way I dislike it. If you're somebody like me that doesn't go through a ton of this fast, actually using this to apply it can make it a little bit contaminated depending on, I'm sure you're applying this with clean skin, but it can pick up sometimes eye flakes and things like that. So if you're someone like me that doesn't go through these really fast, it's a little bit problematic because I don't want to actually use the doe foot applicator on myself. So I apply it with a sponge that I kind of take off the doe foot applicator, which probably does get it a little dirty too, but I think they really wanted to rival Shape Tape, which has a doe foot applicator too. So overall though, if you go through it fast, it makes it a little bit more convenient for using it on your under eye area. So they've done a nice job with the packaging. My second criteria is alcohol, and this does not contain any denatured alcohol. My third criteria is fragrance, and they haven't included any fragrance ingredients, but this does contain coconut water, which has a natural scent to it. So it really has a very, very light coconut scent, which probably won't be offensive to any. But anyway, coconut is an antioxidant anyway, so it's not of concern like other fragrance ingredients would be. My fourth criteria is the manufacturing location, and this one is made in Italy, so no issues there. My fifth criteria is ease of use, and it is very easy to use. It sets in a reasonable amount of time, which still gives you enough time to work with it, and very easy to use. This shade I have is golden beige. However, I think I'm going to have to get a shade that's not golden or yellow based. It was just a little too yellow for my skin tone. But they've got a very nice shade range, especially if you're very fair. They've got a lot of good options down there with a lot of different undertones, which is very good if you have more fair skin, but very easy to use. I like the fact that it doesn't set immediately. There's a lot of concealers that set so quickly you don't have enough time to blend it and smooth it out. And it does say super coverage. However, I wouldn't necessarily call this super coverage. I would call this medium to full coverage. Just depending on what you're using it on. If you're using it on your under eye area, it's definitely pigmented enough to cover up any dark circles or pigmentation around that area. But if you're using it for imperfections and things like that, that's where it isn't giving you enough coverage. So it's definitely more geared toward the under eye area and doing it for a little bit for highlighting or contouring. So otherwise, very easy to use. My sixth criteria is antioxidants and pigmentation, and there's really not a lot of antioxidants in here. Obviously, it's got the coconut water, which can have some antioxidant properties to it. The pigmentation is, I would say, medium to full coverage. I wouldn't say it's super full coverage like they say on the marketing and the name of this. I would say it's more medium to full on that spectrum, just depending on where you're using it. And the nice thing is a little bit can go a long way with this, so which is a good thing. And if you liked their original concealer, this one is similar to it. I would say their original concealer is a little bit more pigmented. I would say that one's a little bit more full coverage than this one is. So, but overall pretty pigmented, so which is always a good thing. And yeah. There's a good swatch of it. You can see it's just too yellow, so I'm going to be definitely exchanging it for a shade with a less yellow undertone. I think there's a vanilla shade or a snow shade. So number 7 is animal testing, and thankfully Too Faced is cruelty-free. My 8th criteria is performance, and this does a pretty good job of not budging. It tends to not settle into fine lines, which is good. And if you do the baking technique, I like using that with this because it doesn't leave your eye area looking super dry. Like a lot of concealers can be too drying, which is some of them why they all set so fast, because they're just super drying. This one isn't. It's a little bit more hydrating than most. It's probably from the coconut oil water that they've put in here. And it really doesn't budge or leave the area, especially on your under eye. If you're using it on imperfections, I notice a little bit of budging just depending on what setting powder you're using with it. So this one's definitely more for the under eye area than imperfections, but it can do a little bit of both, just depending on what you're looking to conceal or retouch. So yeah, it does play well with others. Plays good with a lot of setting powders. I've tried it with 3 different setting powders. I didn't have any issue. I tried it with the Hourglass Translucent Veil. It worked well with that. The Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. And then the new Huda Beauty Baking and Setting Powder. It worked well with that as well. So, and it doesn't ever leave the eye area looking dry. My number 9 criteria is price, and it is a little bit expensive. So this is the full size, and it's $29, and it's a half of an ounce. So it is pricey. It's not out of the range. Urban Decay has their Naked Skin Concealer, which I think is a little bit cheaper than this. But this is a decent sized bottle for something that's contouring or concealing. So like Shape Tape's bottle seems to be a little bit smaller. And to be honest, I like this about the same as I like the Shape Tape. A lot of people are saying this is much better than Shape Tape, and I found them to be pretty similar in my experience working with them. The Shape Tape seemed to be a little bit more fuller coverage than this one did, though, so I should mention that. And then number 10 is the It Factor, and I gave it the thumb up for that. Definitely as good as Shape Tape. Pretty close. Just depends on what you're really looking for. Shape Tape, I would say, is a little bit more full coverage. This one's a little bit more medium full coverage. But the formulas are similar. This one gives you a little bit more time to work with it than the Shape Tape, but it's definitely a good rival, as long as you're not looking for something super full coverage. Like this says it's super coverage, it's more medium to full coverage. So, and a little bit goes a long way. So even though it's expensive and you get half an ounce, it's going to last you quite a while. So, yeah, so overall it did a good job. It got a 9 out of 10, which is pretty good. Just the price was a little bit of an issue. So, and I really like the fact that they did include a little bit of coconut water in there. So it's got a little bit of antioxidants, not a lot, but just a little bit in there. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm wondering if you guys have tried this yet, or what do you guys use for concealing and under eye area? So, there's so many different ones out there, and there's a good variety of formulas, powders, things like that, balms. So, anyway, so what do you use and how do you like it? So leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. Feel free to subscribe if you're not already. I come with at least 1 new review every day. And check out don'tbsbeauty.net and the Amazon link below. Thank you so much, guys.